I'm Cheryl from So Much Cosplay, and if you're like me, you go to a show and you don't have a helper with you to get you into your costume, the laces, all of that. So what I have started to do is to put invisible zippers into my corsets so that I can get in and out of them by myself. And what I really like is that because this is not a separating zipper, I have the extra length on here so that I'm able to get in and out of it. So if you want to learn my secrets for the perfect invisible zipper, all you need to do is to match your invisible zipper to your fabric. And since the invisible zipper is supposed to be invisible, you really, the only piece that you really need to match would be the little zipper pull. So what we're going to do is we're going to unzip this zipper and we are going to press the coils because the coils are actually rolled over and that's what gives it the invisible look. So we're going to unroll that and we're going to use an iron, and that's going to help us keep the teeth away from the tape. And that's going to make this zipper get nice and snug right up to the edge of the fabric, which we really, really want. The idea with the invisible zipper is that it looks like just a seam in the fabric, that there's no zipper there at all. So since we don't have to sew all the way down on this particular zipper, we're just going to do each side the length of the fabric, and we're trying not to iron the actual zipper itself. We don't want to melt those coils. So don't use the full heat on your iron. Just going to go ahead and roll that zipper coil over just so that we get that, okay? Now we are ready to go ahead and place our zipper. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we're lining the edges up, and we're going to sew from the front of the fabric, which seems a little counterintuitive. And on your pattern pieces, you're going to want to make sure that where your zipper is supposed to start and stop, you go ahead and mark that so that you go ahead and make sure you have that ready to go. Now, I like to use tape. This is a double-sided sticky tape instead of pins, because then I don't have to stop my sewing. I just go ahead and tape the whole zipper in. And so I'm just using this skinny tape, and this is like double-sided, and it will stick to the zipper and stick to the fabric, and you'll get this perfect zipper every time. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure it's long enough for our pattern piece, and we are good to go. So we just give that a little trim, and then we need to go ahead and pick that off. But you know what, before that, let's go ahead and put the other side on. So we can use what we have done here to do the other side of the tape. We're just going to make sure we get that closer to the edge rather than the coils. We don't want to accidentally have a piece of our tape showing. So we're just going to keep. And what I like about this technique is it's totally without pins, and it makes just setting in zippers super quick and easy. Okay, so now we are ready to go ahead and remove that tape, the top part, and we are ready to go ahead and get this started. So we're just going to unzip the zipper, and remember, we've relaxed those coils, and here is where we stick the zipper. So again, our start and our stop, that's from our pattern, and we're going to go ahead, and you're going to want to measure this. You're going to want to make sure that this is within that seam allowance. That's what nudges that right up to those coils. So we're gonna go ahead and get that started, and we're gonna bring all of this over to the machine. Now I have a concealed zipper foot on this machine, and just to show you what that looks like, you can see here that there are a couple of grooves, and those are the grooves that our coils are going to ride and slide right under. So we're just gonna put that back on the machine. I've already made sure that my needle is set in the right place, and we are ready to sew. And we're just gonna make sure we get this to the right side. There we go. And you're going to want to make sure that that zipper coil gets unrolled, just that. You want to make sure that the roll is unrolled, and the needle is just going to glide right next to that. So this foot actually helps unroll that roll even further, but we relaxed it with our iron, and we're just getting right up to our start and stop. And if you want to, you can backstitch. We're going to go ahead and lift that out. And now we are ready to stick down our other side. So we're going to lay out our pattern piece, and sometimes it helps to zip the zipper. But these are going to go like that. And we want to make sure that our zipper is going to lay in the right direction. We don't want our zipper to be twisted. You're probably thinking, why did you leave all that length? That's so that you can get in and out of it, since this is non-separating. And again, we're just going to start up here where our pattern piece had the little marking. If this were a separating zipper, you would see the teeth, and maybe that's a different look that you are going for, but in this one, we want the zipper to be completely invisible. So there we go, we are ready to sew. And we're just gonna make sure that we unroll that first section. Just push that little roll over, and we are ready to go. And you can see that I'm just using my fingers to help unroll it further. You want to get it nice and close. Now on your normal separating zippers that you would put into a skirt or a shirt, you would stop where the zipper needs to stop according to the pattern. All right, and now we are ready to zip it, and you're just going to see how perfectly invisible that is. You can't even see it. It looks just like any other seam. So again, back at the costume, what you would do is have the extra length hanging down so that you can get in and out of it without any laces like you would on your typical corset, and then you can just tuck this right away and it will stay hidden inside of the garment. Now you have to remember, this is a fashion corset and not an undergarment corset, because the undergarment corsets, those ones you would lace a very different way than a fashion corset, but you can put an invisible zipper into a fashion corset, no problem. So this can get hidden or be seen, doesn't matter, but it's a great technique that you can use for garments or for cosplay, either one.